Hello and welcome to another Talk of the Terrace podcast. I'm your host for today's show, Tom Can. Daniel Mountney, the regular host of the show, is unable to do it today, so he's asked me to stand in. But I am joined by regular panellist, Ola Björkavold. How are you doing?
I'm doing good.
Good. And obviously we have a lot to talk about. We have the FIFA president being elected. We have the Man United Arsenal match, and we also have the Capital One Cup to talk about, plus all of the Premier League and all of the other major leagues in Europe. So let's start off with the FIFA president, Gianelli Infantino. Is that how you pronounce it, Ola?
No, because you're adding a few letters. They're not there. It's just Gianni Infantino.
What is it?
Gianni Infantino.
Gianni Infantino. I'll leave that to you.
You'll get out at the end of the show.
Gianni Infantino. Do you think he's a good president to come in and take over FIFA?
Yeah, definitely. I think he's a better option than the Bahraini president, whose name I forgot in the middle of this. He's a better option than him. Whether he's a better option than Prince Ali, it's those seem to be the better two of the three, and the fact that Infantino won is it's quite a surprise actually, because no one really thought a European president candidate had a chance this time, because everyone was so pissed at how Europe has been running the show. Yeah. But he won, and I'm excited to see what he's gonna do. He's three key pillars that he's kept mentioning through this campaign is reforms, democracy, and participation, and football development. And I'm really keen to see what he's gonna do to really lift those three things up.
Yeah. Well, I think anyone can follow Sepp Blatter, to be honest. Anyone can. I mean, any person who comes in is, going to be higher praise than Sepp Blatter, who didn't do a brilliant job, let's be honest. But we'll move on to the Premier League now, because there's lots to talk about. Obviously, the first thing that we'll talk about is the Man United Arsenal match. In a way, it's quite good that Dan isn't here for this show, because going to have quite a task on our hands to calm him down. But what went wrong with Arsenal? They put out a full strength 11. Özil, Welbeck, Walcott, who didn't really do anything.
I didn't see Walcott until he was subbed off.
They had Giroud on the pitch, and as Man United's defence, they had Daley Blind and Michael Carrick, two midfielders. So what went wrong? Why couldn't they score against pretty, a makeshift Man United team with a load of youngsters in their side? Well,
I think just a bad day at the job. This was a sloppy passing game from the beginning. You could see passes going everywhere, and I think that got into their heads a bit after a while. They couldn't really connect. They couldn't really do anything. Yeah. And then United got the first goal and then the second goal. Yeah. Although two of them were quite lucky, so to say, and they didn't really come back from that. It's as simple as a bad day on the job, I imagine.
Well, we have to mention youngster Marcus Rashford, who's had an all right week. Let's say all right.
It's been decent.
He made his debut against Midtjylland in the Europa League, scored 2 goals on his debut, and then you all right there?
Yeah, I'm fine. Just dying. That's fine.
And then played Man United and started at Old Trafford yesterday, scored another 2 goals. I mean, no one had heard of him before Thursday evening. He comes up and people are already, saying that he's, the saviour of Man United's season.
Yeah, it's one of those things where you do something really good, you come out of nowhere, and people just lift you up. Yeah. And the thing with Marcus Rashford is he's come in and he's had no pressure whatsoever, because no one's been expecting anything. No. And I think that's helped him. Yeah. Because he's just gone up there, played like he usually does, and haven't really looked like he's out of his depth at all. He's looked perfectly comfortable. Yeah. And the fact that he came into the scene with no pressure and no one had heard of him, I think that helped him big time. Yeah. Well, I have to say, I like Koscielny. I think he's a good player, very good defender, one of the best in the Premier League.
But yesterday he had a poor game. He really did. He was probably at fault for both of Rashford's goals. The first one, he did a pretty poor clearance right into Rashford's feet for him to finish it off, and then the second one, he didn't mark Rashford at all. Rashford was left open for the header. So what went, like, how come an experienced centre back like Koscielny, France international, let a youngster, Rashford, who no one's heard of until Thursday, score 2 goals against him just like that?
Well, I want to get back to the point that it's a bad day at the job. These things happen. You slip up, you let a man go, and 8 times out of 10 that's not going to result in a goal for those 2 times that it does.
Yeah. It's
going to hurt you. And, Koscielny just decided to let Rashford go, and these were the 2 times that it hurt him. And, he's probably picking himself apart more than we can do.
Yeah.
And hopefully he'll get back stronger next week. He's experienced. He'll manage. He's a big boy.
Yeah. There's now 11 games left of the Premier League season, okay? We won't talk about who we think will win the league, because we do that every week. And it's kind of getting a bit boring now, because people are always saying, oh, well, I want Leicester to win, but I don't think that they will. So let's talk about who's in trouble. There are quite a few teams down there that I think Aston Villa are down.
Yeah, Aston Villa definitely
Aston
down.
Villa,
down and out.
16 points after 27 games is just appalling. They lost to their under-21s team, which I don't even know how that's possible.
Yeah, I have no idea how they did that.
It's incredible. Sunderland, they can still save themselves. Newcastle are in trouble. Norwich are also in trouble. Swansea are now in trouble as well. And I'd add Bournemouth to that mix as well. I don't think Crystal Palace are in trouble.
I think Crystal Palace, they need to start winning again, though. Otherwise they'll be in trouble really soon.
Yeah.
Because they're not that far off. But right now we'll keep them out of this. And of those, I think Norwich and I don't want to say Newcastle or Swansea, but I think those 3 teams are looking most likely to end up in 2 of those relegation spots that's left, because I think Sunderland actually can pull through this.
They do it every year.
Because Sunderland have been down there a lot.
They're always
at
the bottom of the table until the last 5 or 6 games, and then they just go on a run of winning, save themselves, and then 2 teams are down there with the others. Okay, so who do you think that out of the 3 spots will go down?
Well, it's Aston Villa, definitely.
Yep.
And then last time I said Norwich and Swansea, so I'm going to stick to that. I don't want Swansea to go down, but
neither do I. Neither do I.
I
mean, Norwich, I'd be all right with going down, as if some of you know who I am. I'm an Ipswich fan, so. But I actually think that Swansea will save themselves. I don't think they'll go down, but I don't want Newcastle to go down. I reckon it will be Aston Villa, Sunderland and Norwich. I really don't want Newcastle to go down, but I can see it happening, however. I definitely think that Norwich are down, so I think it's between Newcastle and Sunderland. The Tyne-Wear rivalry. Have they played each other twice this season already? Or just once?
I think it's only been once this season.
I think so as well. So yeah, that's who we think are going down. Now let's talk about West Ham. They've had an incredible season, helped by Dimitri Payet, who every West Ham fan are absolutely loving this season. Can they? They're currently in 6th place. Can they clinch a European spot?
Yes, I think they can. I do. I think they can, because they play so well, they flow so well together, and Slaven Bilic has really got this team going, and I can see them staying ahead of Southampton, and they have a 3-point gap right now, and I can see them keeping that gap, because Southampton are not in that good form. They lost to Chelsea, which is, it's expected.
Yeah.
But I can see them keeping on to that 6th place. Definitely.
Well, they've got a very good team. I think they're one of the most underrated teams, I reckon, in the division. Because when you look at the squad, they've got a bunch of players in there that our match winners for them. Michael Antonio.
Every time he scores, they win.
He was near to going out on loan in January, and then he came into the team and he scored loads of goals for them. And then his celebration on Saturday, I don't even know what it was. What it was about. He do whatever you want after you score, but it was very odd. Right, well that's all the Premier League. Now we'll move on to the Capital One Cup, which was won by Manchester City. Spoiler alert if you didn't want to, but I'm sure you've already heard it. But Manchester City won on penalties over Liverpool. Willie Caballero won them pretty much the cup with his penalty saves. Mignolet, very decent keeper yesterday. He's been slated this season by Liverpool fans, but I think in the cup yesterday he came up trumps. What did you think of his performance?
I think Mignolet did really, really well, other than letting the goal in that looked just a bit too easy. Other than that, he had an outstanding game. He was really close to saving every single Manchester City penalty, and he just made some exceptional saves during the game itself. And it's, in some way he deserved to win the cup for Liverpool. In the same way as Caballero did it for City.
Yeah.
Because both keepers yesterday were absolutely outstanding.
Brilliant.
It's really good to see when a goalkeeper, especially when two goalkeepers are on top of their form.
Well, obviously Caballero was not meant to be in the team today. Well, not today, yesterday. He was put in by Pellegrini, trusting him with the Capital One Cup keeper. Joe Hart left out of the team. Turned out to be a very good decision by Pellegrini in his last season at Manchester City. As I said, Caballero won them the cup with the penalty saves. Do you think, because he's now 34, Caballero, do you think that he will be at Manchester City much longer, or do you think he'll retire soon? Or
no, I can see him warming the bench for City a few years more. Because look at Marcus Watcher, he's still going.
For Leicester as well.
And a goalkeeper, the age is almost nothing to say for a goalkeeper. No. He can keep going as long as he wants to. And Willie Caballero is an outstanding goalkeeper. I just want that said. Pellegrini brought him in from Malaga. He knew him from his time at Malaga, and it's maybe Pellegrini will bring him wherever he goes next. Yeah, I can see that happening, and that'll be good for him because Caballero is too good for sitting on the bench at Manchester City. Yeah, but I can see him sitting there a bit more if he wants to.
Yeah, but the big question is, would Guardiola need him and use him?
I think it'd be the cup goalkeeper like he's been up until now, because Joe Hart is just slightly better than Caballero.
Yeah. Right. Well, that's all of the Premier League and Capital One Cup news. And now we're going to move on to the international roundup with a new, fun and very exciting introduction for it.
Papa loves mambo.
Frank de Boer speelt de bal. Heel goed naar Dennis Bergkamp. Dennis Bergkamp neemt de bal aan. Dennis Bergkamp!
Vi har folk foran mål. Og vi har avslutning! Ja da! Skåring! Vi har skåret i Barclays! Vi har skåret mot Brasil!
In het centrum, kleine goal!
German Bundesliga. Ola, you're the expert on this.
Yeah, we can
start. So I'll let you take the reins.
Yeah, thank you. We can start with Friday's game. Köln played at home to Hertha Berlin, and they lost 1-0 in what was essentially what's become the Hertha Berlin way this season.
Yeah.
Just dragging out the time and playing long balls and being really, really, really boring, but really, really effective. Yeah. And they hadn't won in a few games now, Hertha Berlin, and this does so that they can keep themselves in that third place spot, which gives them Champions League football, which is way above anyone's expectations, because everyone thought they were going to be down and around the relegation zone. 'Cause that's where they've been the last few years. And if they can keep this up, it's going to be a fantastic season for the Hertha fans. Over to Saturday, Bayern Munich beat Wolfsburg away 2-0 in the biggest game of the round. Hanover finally won a game. It's about damn time. They haven't won a game in their last 10 games. They haven't won one.
Whoa.
Yeah, they're in absolutely
dry
horrible
spell.
form. However, Stuttgart, who they beat, has been in excellent form and not lost. They lost one in the last 10. So for them to lose this one was kind of shocking.
Yeah.
But now Hanover, who are dead last with 17 points, they have at least a fighting chance of something that can remind them of survival. And Werder Bremen and Darmstadt drew 2-2 or 2-0, however you want to say that. And that's a result that none of them are too pleased with, because Werder Bremen are in the on the playoff spot, and Darmstadt are 2 places above that, I think. And both wanted to win just to get a bit away from down there. Hamburg and Ingolstadt played 1-1. That is fair enough. They're both mid-table sides. They seem to be clear of any relegation spots right now, so that they'll be both happy with that. Over to Sunday, and Dortmund and Hoffenheim. They played, and Hoffenheim took a surprising lead. They led 1-0, and then they just collapsed in the last half of the game, because they got a wrongful sending off of Sebastian Rudy, which it never helps you getting a man sent off, and when it's wrong as well, you get a bit more pissed. And they just kind of collapsed and lost 3-1, which a shame, because Julian Nagelsmann, the new coach of Hoffenheim, he's been doing really, really good work, and I think they have a chance of survival now, Hoffenheim. And Mainz beat Bayer Leverkusen 3-1. That's quite a shocker, and a really, really good win for Mainz, because they needed this one now. Because right now they're in the Europa League spots. They're at the same points as Gladbach, who are on the last Champions League spot in 4th. And it's important for them to try to get that Europa League spot to keep their momentum going, because right now they're doing really well. It's fun to watch. In the last game of the round, Borussia Mönchengladbach and Augsburg, they drew 2-2, which it's a good result for Augsburg, but not the best for Gladbach. They would have won the win. But you take what you can get and move on, I guess.
Well, all teams have played 23 matches now in the Bundesliga. Am I right in thinking that 2 teams go down from this league?
That's correct. 2 teams go down, and the third to last gets playoff place.
Okay, so currently sitting in the bottom 2 are Hoffenheim and Hanover. Do you think it will be those 2 going down at the end of the season?
I could see that happening, and up until this round I was really sure that Hanover were going down, and I'm still sure about that, but at least with this win they got this weekend, they have a fighting chance. Because now they're only 4 points away from the playoff spot, whereas they were 3 points behind that again. That easy math makes that 7 points. And that's, they have a fighting chance now. That's all they need. They can grasp onto this. They can move. They can build on this win. And maybe, just maybe, get out of the relegation spot.
Let's move on now to the Italian Serie A. And there was a pretty big match on yesterday. Juventus and Inter Milan. Juventus came out on top 2-0 in that one. Do you want to take the reins on this one as well? Or?
Yeah, I can do that. We'll do the Juventus Inter Milan game first. And really good win, important win for Juventus, because now they get some space between them and Napoli, but that's just
4 points
for the moment, because Napoli has a game in hand. They play Fiorentina later today.
They do,
And if Fiorentina lose this one, they're definitely out of the title race. So they need to win this one to get back into that title race, and to gain some more ground on Inter and Roma for the Champions League spots as well.
Yeah.
And Napoli needs to win this to keep up with Juventus themselves, because if they win this, they're only 1 point away.
Yeah.
But Juventus won through Bonucci and Morata on a penalty. And, they started off so poorly, but now they're top of the table. And Juventus, when they're up top of the table, they don't give that away. I can't see them not winning. And the other games to talk about is Milan and Torino on Saturday.
Yeah.
Where Milan won 1-0 through Luca Antonelli. And, they cling to maybe getting a Europa League spot if they can keep form. And, I'm saying this, and I can't believe I'm saying this, that would be a good result for AC Milan getting a Europa League spot.
I know.
You wouldn't have thought that 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years ago. That would have been awful. But now it's actually good for them to get a Europa League spot. Yeah, in the bottom, Carpi drew with Atalanta 1-1 to keep them, I want to say, fighting at least.
Yeah.
Kind of the same as Hanover in Germany. They need to pick up results. Any point is a good point for them, because right now they need to get results to actually have just a tiny chance of survival.
Yeah. Right, now let's move on to the Ligue 1, the French Ligue 1. And probably the biggest news of the game week was Paris Saint-Germain finally losing a game. They lost to Lyon. Currently in third place, so Lyon are doing well. I mean, when you look at the table, when you look at the points, they're not doing so well, but they are in third. Paris Saint-Germain have just been storming this league this season, but they did lose yesterday. That's going to have... I mean, it's not going to really do much to Paris Saint-Germain's season. It will do much to Lyon's. But Paris Saint-Germain are already clear. They've pretty much won it already. 53 goal difference. 43 above second place Monaco. They are 23 points ahead of Monaco in second. So, yeah, Paris Saint-Germain finally lost a game. Reims? You pronounce that?
Probably correct. I have no idea. I don't speak French.
Reims beat Bordeaux 4-1. Which is a very good result for I need to stop saying Reims. Ream. One of the 8. I've given you the options of. They beat Bordeaux. Very good result for them, because they're currently just 4 points off the bottom spot, or 4 places off the bottom spot. I think they're pretty much, Troy. I mean, all these French leagues or French teams, I have no idea how to pronounce any of them. So, I'm pretty much just making a fool of myself, because I'm just pronouncing them as it's written down. So Reims and Troyes. But I'm pretty sure it's not pronounced Troyes. And normally you know how to pronounce them, but not even you.
Yeah, I think it's Troyes, actually.
Troyes.
Yeah.
Right,
go with that. Let's go with that. Yep, let's go with
that. Troyes are currently on 14 points, which is...
they're the Aston Villa of the league, huh?
Yeah, they're 8 points off Toulouse, who are second from bottom, who are on 22 points. Toulouse lost yesterday to Rennes.
Yeah, I can see Toulouse going down, and that's a sad thing, because Toulouse used to be a side that, were in or around the Europa League spots.
Yeah.
Actually, just last year, they were in and around that area. And they're 10 points off a safe spot right now, and that I don't see them recovering that, honestly. I think they'll go down. I think Ajaccio is the only team who has a chance of staying up on because they have 28 points. There's only 4 points up to Reims or Rams or Ream. It was language discussion. We won't get into that again.
Could always ask Siri.
Yeah, and Guingamp is also on 32 points. So they have Ajaccio have a chance, but Toulouse and Troyes.
Yeah,
I can see them going. The Troyes are down, but Toulouse, I can see them go down. I can.
Okay. Yeah.
Let's move on from this language mess. Sorry, any French people out there?
We do apologise for our appalling pronunciation. Right, we're now moving on to the Liga BBVA.
Or La Liga, if you want to make it simple.
Or La Liga, if you want to make it simple, but Liga BBVA. if you don't want to make it simple. And let's talk about the fixtures that happened over the weekend. Barcelona beat Sevilla 2-1. Barcelona came out on top there. Goals coming from Messi and Piqué. Obviously, Barcelona had a good week in Arsenal, beating them 2-0.
Yeah, and Gary Neville lost again. That's He lost 3-0 to Athletic Bilbao at home.
Yeah.
All the goals came in the last 20 minutes of the game, which is telling me that they collapsed. And Gary, you need to get your stuff together, Gary. Gary, you need to fix this. It's not going well for Gary Neville.
No.
We discussed this, I think, last week, and I really do hope they give him some time. But I can see him losing his job at the end of the season. I can see that happening. But
yeah,
he needs to make something happen, because right now I saw someone say this, they're a flock of sheeps without a herder. Is that a word?
Without a shepherd.
Yes, the shepherd. Without a shepherd. Yes.
Herder.
Hoarder, whatever.
We're struggling a bit.
Yeah, I saw someone say last week that they're a flock of sheep without a shepherd.
Yeah.
And I think that's a very correct analogy to use, because they looked lost.
They do, yeah. Villarreal got a 3-0 win over Levante, who are currently last in the league. And they are 3 points away from Granada, who is second bottom. So they're not, down and out yet.
Yeah, it's a bit closer in the Spanish league than the other ones. Because from Levante in that last spot and up to Real Betis in 13th, there's only 8 points. Actually, looking at this table, even Malaga and Valencia can go down in 11th and 12th, because they only have 12 points down. It's not going to happen, but it could theoretically.
That would definitely lose Gary Neville his spot.
It would. It would.
Making Valencia get relegated.
Yeah, and Atletico Madrid beat Real Madrid on Saturday.
That is a big one.
That is a big one.
That is a massive one.
Goal from Antoine Griezmann, and that keeps Atletico Madrid within a tiny, tiny, tiny shot of the title.
Yeah.
But I think the ship has sailed, the train has left the station,
Barcelona.
whatever metaphor you want to use for this.
Yeah.
Barcelona winning this one. They don't give that kind of lead away.
No. And did you see what Ronaldo said about his Real Madrid teammates after that loss?
I did not. Please do enlighten me.
He went on a bit of a rant, and now I understand why everyone's saying arrogant Ronaldo. So basically, Ronaldo said this about his teammates. I do not want to belittle any player at Madrid, because all the Madrid players are good, but if we do not have the best players, it is hard. We don't have Karim, we don't have Bale, we don't have Marcelo, Pepe, and it is difficult. I'm not saying that those who played are not as good, but the best are always important in a team. He then went on to say, he said, I don't know what the reason is, but it is hard. I like to play with Karim, for example, and when he is not there, it is difficult. I like to play with Bale, and when he is not there, it is also difficult. I like to play with Marcelo. When Marcelo is not there, it is difficult. He repeated himself quite a few times. Danilo today was the best on the field, but over the course of the season, it is difficult because the best players are the best across the season, almost always. That's not to say that Jesse, Lucas, Kovacic aren't good, but they are very good. It is my point of view. So basically, he just had a go at his teammates, saying that they're not as good as him, which is true. But you didn't say that in an interview.
But I think his reasoning is correct, because when you don't have Benzema, when you don't have Gareth Bale alongside you, and you switch those out and you replace them with Jesse and Kovacic and the likes, they're good. By all means, they're really good players, but they're not Bale, they're not Benzema.
When you think of Real Madrid, you don't think of them.
I can see his point. Because, look at Barcelona. Take out Messi, take out Suarez, take out Neymar.
Yeah.
You can still replace them with good players, but not Messi, Suarez, Neymar quality.
No.
And it's the same for Bale, Benzema, and whoever else was out of that team.
I understand where he's coming from, but he didn't need to say it out loud in an interview offending his teammates.
Yeah, I can see that. He could have kept it.
He could have kept it under his hat.
Yeah.
It probably would have been announced if he had said it out loud somewhere else. But, he didn't need to say it straight after they lost to Atletico Madrid in a press conference. Is that it for
I think that's it for La Liga.
BBVA?
And just on a short note at the end here, I want to mention just a little shout out to Olympiacos from Greece.
NPL, yep.
They won their league yesterday. We're still in February, people. They won their Greek Super League. They played 24 games. They lost once. They drawn once. They won 22. They let in 12 goals. And they've scored 60 goals.
It's incredible.
And they have 67 points. And the second team has 49.
Well, let's think of the
know,
Greek league. Other than Olympiacos.
Panathinaikos, AAK Athens, there we go. Pronunciation.
Okay.
And, you're not supposed to win the league when it's till February.
No.
And it's just really, really impressive.
Yeah. And also, to finish off, let's talk about the Europa League draw. Obviously, Dortmund got Tottenham, which is very difficult for Tottenham. And also Liverpool got Manchester United. I don't think there's any other worthy readouts.
That's going to be
Europa League. But
that's going to be two great games. The United Liverpool one. That's going to be
yeah, definitely massive.
It's going to be so intense, and I'm
is.
really looking forward to those.
We're guaranteed one British team to go through.
Yeah, that's good. That's the only upside to this.
I mean, Tottenham and Dortmund. What do you think Tottenham's chances are against Dortmund? I think that they could do it, actually.
They have a decent...
I think Tottenham will do it.
For what, 51-49 in favour of Dortmund, I think. But, over 2 games, anything can happen. Tottenham can definitely do this because they're in great form at home.
Yeah.
And, they can definitely do this.
Right, well, I think that does it for this episode. Thank you very much for tuning in, listening. Down will be back next week presenting the show. And Ola, thank you very much.
It's been a pleasure.
And this has been Talk of the Terrace podcast. Thank you very much for listening. See you next week. Goodbye.